Welcome, Dave, and I'm so grateful to have you as part of this special edition of our Employee Spotlight today. And this is our CEO Spotlight. So thank you for carving out a little bit of time in your day to answer a few questions so that we can get to know you and Elantis even better. So I'm curious, what inspired you to start Elantis Solutions about 9.5 years ago?
I wanted to create a company that brought together sales and delivery so that we actually did what we said we were going to sell. I know that sounds a bit funny from a consulting perspective, but a lot of companies I worked at in the past were very much sell it and we'll build it, and they didn't really have much alignment between sales and delivery that way. And so I really wanted to create a company that when we went out and met with customers, we said what we could do, we said what we couldn't do, and we made sure that the things we said we could do, we delivered. Yeah, so I really also wanted to create a people-focused consulting company whereby we focused on people more than technologies. What I wanted to happen was that as a person came into Elantis, they'd know a specific type of technology, such as SharePoint. But as those technologies change over time, we want to keep our employees. We want to make sure we've got great employees who want to learn and can transition between technologies. Rather than just have it so that we only have an employee for the life cycle of the product.
So what moments in Elantis's history are you most proud of?
Oh, well, there's tons of them, lots and lots of them. I don't know where to start on that one. Really, the things that come to mind are our first employees. When we first set up the company 9 years ago, it was the hiring of the first employees, getting our first customer. Those sort of things, always remember those. It's very exciting times and challenging as you start a company up. Also very proud of when we opened up our office in Vancouver. That was another challenge that we had, and then further from that, we moved on to Bellevue. So those two things really proud of doing that and opening up those offices. And more recently, the thing that comes to mind is, and I always find this a bit of a strange one, but it's the fact that we're working with multiple Fortune 500 companies in the States. It always seems weird to me that a small company that started in Edmonton is able to work with some huge companies like General Motors and British Aerospace and companies like that. So I'm very proud of how we've developed and matured our processes to align with those types of customers.
Lots to be proud of for sure. So from a delivery and customer standpoint, what is it like to work with Elantis from a customer perspective?
We really value the relationship above anything else. And I think where that comes into play is a lot of the projects we deliver and a lot of the solutions we develop with our customers, we're very much about having a relationship with them. So we understand that there's the formal side, there's the contracts, there's the proposals, there's the sales, and there's the status reports, and we do all that stuff obviously and want to deliver that, but we also want there to be a human side as well, where we can have a relationship, we can work together to get the solution that best suits the customer and best suits the needs that they have, and so we're very much a relationship based company.
That's great. So relationships with our customers and partners, and also relationships with each other, which kind of brings me to my next question is, from an employee perspective, what is it like to work with Elantis?
I'm not sure I'm the right person to ask for this one because I'm probably biased, but I think what we try to do is we try to really create a team atmosphere here. Big goal of ours is to create so that everybody's helping each other and working towards the same solution. What we don't want to do is we don't want to have individuals working on projects who are struggling to get through it. So we're very much about mentoring and training our employees so that they can better their careers and move up in the chain. One of our main goals is to start hiring from a junior level and then promote them through to intermediates and through to seniors and then through to architects. We want to create that type of environment so that people can learn, enjoy their career, and then move on and get to where they want to get to in their lives.
So it really is a culture of learning here, of growing and learning from each other. Is there anything else that you'd like to describe what makes Elantis what it is from a culture perspective?
Yeah, I think there's that side of it, which is the training and learning that we really encourage. I think we want everyone to be the mentor that they wish they had when they were younger. So very much that side. But there's also the fun side of things as well. We come to work so much; it's such a big part of our lives that we want to make sure people have fun when they're here. It's you know, you can have a good laugh. You can go for lunches, go for a beer after work, or we're going for a river on the river cruise in a couple of days. It's that sort of thing where we want people to feel part of a team, feel supported by the team, and really enjoy what they're doing here. So that's a huge part of it, because no one wants to go to work when it's not fun. So we don't either.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dave. So what first sparked your interest in technology? Let's take it way back. Can you describe when you realized that this was a field that you wanted to get into?
Yeah, I've been in it for a number of years, obviously. I first started doing IT when I was at school, back in the many decades ago times. And so I actually, my career started off from the technical side. I originally started working on the mainframes and the mainframe programming, and then gradually moved through into the Microsoft network side of things. Then did some more development work with C#, and then moved into sales of all things. So I've had a pretty broad experience of IT. I've always really enjoyed it because I've always been big about solving problems, and I think the thing that excites me is when a customer or someone needs something doing, they're really struggling, and you can put a solution in place that, you know, can save them, I don't know, 10 hours a day or 8 hours a day or whatever. So I've always enjoyed that side of it, and automating things that make people's lives easier.
Absolutely. So we previously talked about mentorship and learning and training. What advice would you give to someone who is just starting out in the IT industry?
Yeah, it's a tough industry. I think I sometimes wonder why I'm doing IT and joke around with my friends. Why did we ever pick IT? But I think the advice I would give is it's really all about pushing yourself through and challenging yourself to solve these problems and be open to continuous learning. I think if you want, especially if you want to come into consulting, your technology is always changing. The customers have always got different environments. It's about pushing yourself through and understanding, yeah, I'm not going to know everything. I never will know everything, but getting comfortable with that fact, getting comfortable with the fact that as a team, we'll know how to solve the problem, and then being able to work it through that. So I think just having the sort of the flexibility to understand that you don't know a lot, and you always need to learn a lot, and keep pushing and driving yourself. It's what will get you there in the end. It's if you sit back and don't drive yourself, you won't move forward. And whereas if you come here and you join our company, for example, and you've got some drive and some go, we'll help you get there and help you get to where you want to go in your career. So
that growth mindset is key, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So
yeah.
Dave, what do you wake up looking forward to every day? What do you enjoy most about your role at Elantis?
Well, besides the coffee and the donuts, the thing that I enjoy the most about working with Elantis is it's around the expansion and the opportunities available to us. I get really excited. Again, it goes back to one of my earlier answers around working with Fortune 500 and Fortune 100 companies. I get really excited about opening those sort of doors, and how can we go and work with the next huge enterprise-based client and deliver there and make sure they have a fantastic customer experience, which also gives our team the opportunity to work with those type of clients. So that's the sort of thing that gives me a buzz and wakes me up in the morning and gets me running into work to grab my coffee. So.
That's great. So I have one more question for you, Dave. What is your vision for Elantis over the next 5 years?
So over the next 5 years, I'd really like to see us expand down the western coast of the US, down from Bellevue into, say, San Francisco, San Diego, around that way. I think that's very exciting for us. I'd really love to do that. We're a company that wants to be sort of 20 to 30 employees at each location rather than a big cube farm. And I think the expansion down there would be a fantastic thing for us over the next 5 years. I also really excited to see the growth of our team over the next 5 years. I think it's really fantastic when we hire people and they come in here and you see them develop and mature over a few years and grow into the leaders that we've got at the company today. And so I love, just as part of the strategy, I love watching people grow through the company or grow with the company. So I love that side of things.
Great. Well, we have lots to look forward to over the next 5 years and beyond. So thank you so much for your time today, for taking time for this interview. And it was great to learn a little bit more about you and Elantis at the same time. So thanks so much, Dave.
Great. Thank you, Andrea.